Good morning, student. Myself Vinay Tripathi. Welcome to your online class. Students, today I am going to explain you in Geography Chapter 5 Temperature. See, students, previous Chapter 4 we have learned the weather and climate. Okay. So there is activities there. Students, do it yourself. Figure 5.1. The perpendicular and slanting areas occupied by the torch light's ray. So see, students, in these two figures are given 5.1a and 5.1b. Can you see that? Afterwards, see that take a torchlight and keep it stable at one place. Take two large paper sheets large enough to accommodate its entire beam. Paste the papers on two flat boards. So what you to do, students? So to take a torchlight, okay? Can you see the torch? Okay. Afterwards, you have to keep it stable. That means it should not unstable. It should be stable at one permanent place. Okay. Afterwards, you have to take two large paper sheets large enough to accommodate its entire beam, and afterwards you have to paste the paper in both the picture. Can you see that? On two flat boards. Okay. Hold the board perpendicular to the beam. Figure 5.1a. So see, so in 5.1a, what you see that it is a perpendicular straight. Okay. And afterwards draw the outline of the area lit up by the beam. Name the paper A. So after that, say student, you have to draw the outline of the area lit up by the beam and name the paper A. Afterwards, now use the other paper, hold it in such a way that it makes an angle of 120 degree with the beam. And same here also, students, same process are there. Okay, and here also give the name figure 5.1b. Draw the outline of the area occupied by the beam and name the paper B. Okay. So this way in these two figures are there, 5.1a and 5.1b. Okay, students. Now observe both the papers A and B. Now tell, on which paper does the beam occupy a larger area, students? Can you see that? So that is here 5.1b. It occupies a large area. Okay, because it is slant. Okay. The rays are not straight. The rays are slanty. Okay. Can you see the 5.1 figure? 5.1b. Okay. On which paper is the area smaller, students? So see that. Do it yourself. See that 5.1a. Now change the angle between the beam of the light and the papers. Observe the changes that occur in the area occupied by the beam. Now you have to observe that, students. And what is the relation between the angle of the paper and area occupied by the beam? Now see the expression is given here. Sun rays coming towards the earth travel in straight lines. Okay, however, as the earth is a spherical in shape, you all know that sun rays, from where we are getting sun rays, students, because of the sun. And sun rays coming towards the earth travel in straight lines. And however, as the earth is a spherical in shape, you know students, the earth is spherical in shape. These are not perpendicular to all the parts of the earth's surface. And see, students, so because of that, earth is spherical in shape, so these are not perpendicular straight to all the parts of the earth. So earth surface. Okay. So in some parts they are perpendicular, whereas in other parts they are slanting. And see, students, because of the earth is spherical in shape. Okay. And because of this, these are not perpendicular all the parts of the earth surface. And this is, student, in some parts they are perpendicular straight lines, whereas in other parts they are slanting. So let us see what effects it has on the earth. So see the first one, the perpendicular rays occupy less area. So see, students, in the perpendicular, that we can see that rays, it occupies the less area, figure 5.1a. See that? Okay. The part where the rays occupy lesser area receive bright sunshine and greater heat. And see, here is a little bright sunshine is there and greater heat was there. Okay. And see, hence the surface get heated more and the air becomes hot. And see, student, in this place the surface there gets heated more and the air becomes hotter. Can you see that? But in the second picture, see, students, the slant rays occupy a larger area. Can you see that, figure 5.1b? So in this area sunlight appear less brighter and there is a less heat because it is a slant, it is not a straight. Okay, it is not a perpendicular, and because of that there is a sunlight appear less and there was a less bright and there is a less heat. Okay students, and the surface there gets less heated and the air too is less hot. So see figure 5.1b, can you see that? So these other differences are there in this two figure. Okay students, that means which place the perpendicular rays are there, it occupies less areas and the slanting rays occupies the larger area. Okay students, yourself, see students, it is also activity based. The region marked A in figure 5.2 receives perpendicular rays while the region marked B receives slant rays, and in the regions marked C the rays are extremely slanting. Okay, so this way here three regions are there. Okay students, can you see that? That means see that in figure 5.2 receives perpendicular rays while the region marked B, that means A place perpendicular rays are there and B place receives slant rays are there, and C place, that means in the region marked C it is the rays are extremely slanting. So some questions, some points are there students. Using a scale measure the length of the lid of the portions of the surface in A, B and C regions. Okay, now measure the width of the rays shown between the earth and the sun. Afterwards, considering the parallels of latitudes marked in the figure, tell the regions where the temperature will be high, moderate and low. So afterwards you have to tell that which region have the temperature will be high, moderate and low. Discuss this in the class and write the answers in your notebook. So see students, it is totally activity based. Okay, figure 5.2, the earth's shape and the distributions of sun rays. See that earth A, B and C, can see the pictures. Okay, and that means the rays are getting from the sun. The sun rays are there, it was divided in three parts, A, B and C, can see that? That means the earth shapes and the distributions of the sun rays. See the explanation. Sun rays falling on the earth are straight and parallel to each other. Okay students, see that straight and parallel to each other. However, we have seen that due to the spherical shape of the earth and the resultant curvature of the surface, they occupy a larger or lesser area. So you all know that students, earth is a spherical in shape. Okay, and we have seen that due to the spherical shape of the earth and the resultant curvature of the surface, they occupy a larger or lesser area. Okay, this lead to unequal distributions of the heat received from the sun. So whatever there is, that means heat we are received from the sun, it is unequal, so it is not equal. Okay students, resulting in decreasing temperature from the equator to the north and south poles. And because of that, what will the result are there students? So it is decreasing temperature from the equator to the north and the south poles. That means equator place will be more, and afterward it was started to decreasing. Okay, based on the distribution of temperature, the earth can be divided into torrid, temperate and frigid zones, or tropical, temperate and polar regions. And because of that students, based on the distribution of temperature, the earth can be divided into torrid, okay, temperate and frigid zones, or tropical, temperate and polar regions. So try to understand this from figure 2.4 and 5.3. So see students, see that equator 0 degree, that is torrid zone. So that place sun rays will be very larger. Okay, afterwards it was started to decreasing, temperate zone to frigid zone. Okay students, that means from the equator to the north and south pole. Okay students, so see that north pole 90 degree frigid zone, and see that it is temperate zone 23 degree 30 north, and frigid zone that is 66 degree 30 north. And same as that means the southern hemisphere or southern hemisphere also. See that students, temperate zone 23 degree 30 south, and frigid zone 66 degree 30 south and 90 degree south pole. So the figure 5.3 thermal zones are there. You can see the picture. So how it was divided, and equator always lies the 0 degree. Okay student, that is torrid zone. Okay students, and the equator place sun rays, that means they are following the perpendicular straight lines. Okay, and because of that in equator place there will be more heat. Okay, and compared to the frigid zone there will be less. Understood? Okay students, so this way it was different in different places. Though latitudes is the main factors, okay students, So there are other factors also which influence the distribution of temperature. However, their effects are limited to particular regions. These factors are as follows. Okay, students. So see that nearness of the seas, continentality, height above the mean, sea levels, and physical setups. Okay, of a region are the factors that lead to diversity in the climate of a different region. Okay, students. So see, so what is the that means other factors are there that lead to diversity in the climate of different regions. That is nearness to the sea, continentality, height above the mean sea levels, and physical setup. Okay, of a region are the factors that lead to diversity in the climate of different regions. Other than these factors like cloud covers, winds, vegetation's cover, urbanization, industrialization, etc., also influence the local climate. And see, other than these factors are there also there like example clouds, cloud cover, winds. Okay, because of winds, vegetation's cover, urbanization, industrialization, etc., also influence the local climate. Okay, students. Can you tell totally cancel students are market pencil only to read this? Use your brain power. Tell if the following statements is right or wrong. Give reason. So see students, you have to find out that whether this statement is right or wrong. Okay, and give your opinion, your reason. In order to understand the climate of a region, the latitudinal extent is more useful than the longitudinal extents. So see students, the above statements is right. Okay, in order to understand the climate of a region, the latitudinal extent is more useful. What is more useful, students? The latitudinal extent is more useful because the earth is divided into three temperature zones, students, depending on the amount of heat received from the equator to the north and south poles. Okay, students. Let's perform an experiment to see that there is a difference in the heating and cooling of land and water. So this is also totally activity based, students. Do it yourself. Take two pots of the same size and fill them with water equally. At sunrise, keep one of the pot inside the house and the other one outside. See that it remains in the sun all the times as shown in figure 5.4b. So see students, can you see that figures 5.4, the heating and cooling of water? Can you see that? Okay. So in this water differences are there. So you have to take that two pots of the same size. Okay, and put them, fill them with water, and on that pot you have to fill the water. Okay, equal quantity, same quantity. Afterwards, at sunrise, keep of the pot, that means one pot inside the house. So see, afterwards what you have to do, that one of the pot put inside the house and other one outside, and afterwards see that what will the means we can find out that. See that it remains in the sun all the time, shown in the figure 5.4b. So see students, you all know that in the afternoon, walk barefoot on the floor inside the house and feel the temperature of the floor. So feel the temperature of the water in the pot inside also. And same way, perform the same activity outside the house and get the feel the temperature of the land and the water kept in the sun. And write down your observation about the temperature of the land and water. So what do you think that? So see students, that means in inside and outside what are differences are there, you have to find out that and you have to give your opinion. Do this again around 7 in the evening. So see that compared to afternoon, in evening temperature will be different, na? Yes or no? Afternoon there will temperature will be more and evening temperature will be less. Okay students, note your observation again. Now you can remove the pot, discuss all the observation you have noted in the class. Okay students. So see students, here is expression are there. You must have realized that the land cools down earlier than the water. So what you realize that is students? That means the land cools earlier than the water. The water kept outside in the sun is still a little warm. So whatever water you put in outside that means outside, so that water still it is warm, but land become cool. So these are differences are there. The land cools down earlier than the water. Okay students. Due to this differences in the heating and cooling of land and water, the air over the land gets heated faster and also become cooler rapidly. And say students, compared to the water. So water take time to cool also and to hot also. But land, so land, that means get heated faster and cools also rapidly. Okay students, but water take the time to warm also and for to cool also. If you make water, that means warm, so it take time to for cool. Okay, but land is not like that. So land get heated faster and also become cooler rapidly. So these are the differences are there. Okay students, the air over the water get heated slowly and also loses the heat in the slow manner. Okay students, in the coastal areas as compared to continental areas, the temperatures of air is lower. So say in the coastal areas as compared to the continental areas, the temperature of the air is lower during the day but warmer at night. Okay, contrary of this temperature to this temperature, the temperature of the rain in the continental areas, the temperature of the air in the continental areas is higher during daytime and lower at night time. So see students, afterwards see that contrary to the temperature of the air where in the continental areas is higher during daytime and lower when at night time. Okay students, and the coastal areas students, as compared to continental areas, the temperature of the air is lower during the day but warmer at night. So these are differences are there. Okay students, in the coastal and the, okay, in the that means continental areas. So these are the differences are there. Okay students, in the coastal areas, because of the heating of the sea water, water vapor get mixed in the air. This water vapor holds the heat in the air. Okay, as a result, the air in the coastal areas remains moist and warm. So why students in the coastal areas air become moist and warm? Why? Because students in the coastal areas, because of the heating of the sea water, water vapor get mixed in the air. Okay, and this water vapor holds the heat in the air, and these are the results are there. The air in the coastal areas remains moist and warm. Okay students, conditions in the continental areas are the opposite, totally opposite. Why students? Because as water vapor is absent, the air remains dry. Okay, this leads to sharp difference in the day and night temperature, and these are differences are there because in the continental areas totally are opposites are there. As water vapor is absent here and the air remains dry, this leads to sharp difference in the day and night temperature. Okay students, the difference in the maximum and minimum temperature of the day is called diurnal range of temperature. Okay students, that means the difference in the maximum and minimum temperature of a day is called the diurnal, that means range of temperature. Okay students, in short, the difference in the day and night temperature is less in the coastal areas and more in the continental areas. Okay students, that means what you understood that means the difference in the day and night temperature is less where in the coastal areas and more in the continental areas. Okay students, see the examples are given here. Mumbai temperature are even, but at the Nagpur they vary. Okay students, they vary a lot. Okay students, in the coastal region of Konkan the range of temperature is less, but in Vidarbha the range of temperature is found to be higher. Okay students, that means in the coastal region of Konkan the range of temperature is less, but in Vidarbha range of temperature is found to be higher. Therefore coastal areas have an equable climate, whereas in the continental areas the climate is extreme. So these are differences are there. Okay students, for example, the climate of Mumbai is equable, whereas in the continental locations like Nagpur it is extreme. So examples are given students, that means the climate of the Mumbai is equable means equal, whereas in the continental locations like Nagpur it is extreme. So the difference in the mean temperature of summer and winter is called the annual range of temperature. Understood students? That means the difference in the mean temperature of summer and winter is called annual range of temperature. Okay students, always remember totally cancel or mark with pencil, no need to read this. Okay students, do you know also cancel or mark with pencil, no need to read this. Will you do? So see students, you stay at Maswad in Man Taluka in Satara district. Your grandma stay at Vengurla in Sindhudurg districts. During Diwali, you often visit Vengurla. You like the sea coast there, okay? The warm air of that region attract you because you are freed from the dry air and it's scratching cold to your place. Okay, because of that, students, because of that you are free from the dry air. because the warm air of that region attract you, okay, and because you are freed from the dry air and scorching cold of your place. This time grandma is suffering from asthma. Doctor have advised her to stay at a place which has a drier climate. What should you do, students? So this is also activity. So you have to think about that and give the answer. Okay, students. So say students, humid air is heavier than dry air. Okay, thus a person who is suffering from asthma, they find it very difficult to breathe in humid air. Okay, students, and because of that, so you have to take your grandma to your place, which place you are living. That means according to this question, so you have to take your grandma to your place, that is Man Taluka in Satara district, okay, as the air is dry in this region. Okay, students, do it yourself. So this is also activity based. A pot with water is placed on a burner. Drop 4-5 small plastic buttons in it and observe their movement in water. Figure 5.5. So see that convections and vertical flow of water. Can you see that? So to take a pot with water and place on a burner, and afterwards you drop 4-5 small plastic buttons, okay, in it, and afterwards you to observe that movement on water. Okay, students. See the explanation. Water expands on heating. So when the water will expand, students, because of heating. So water expand on heating. The hot water from the base moves upward. With it, the button 2 are pushed to the surface. So see, students, because of the heating, what happened that so base water will come upward. Okay, students, and with it buttons 2 are pushed to the surface. The relative cooler water in the upper portions moves downwards, taking the button with it. This happens repeatedly. So why it was happen, students? Because water expands on heating. So because of that, what happens that base water come upward and upward water go downwards. Okay, so these are different way happens, and with it buttons too. Okay, and in other words, on heating on an upward current sets in the water. In nature, the conditions slightly different. And see, students, in nature the conditions slightly different due to temperature different. That means due to temperature differences, both upward and horizontal currents develop in the oceans. Okay. Besides temperature difference, factors like wind and difference in the density of water also give rise to horizontal currents. So see, students, you all know that due to the temperature differences, both upward and horizontal currents they develop in the oceans. Okay, and besides temperature differences, factors, which are factors are there? Factors like winds and difference in the density of water also give rise to the horizontal currents. Okay, students, these ocean currents flow from the equator to the polar region and from the polar region to the equator. See figure 5.6. So I will show you figure 5.6. See that world ocean currents are there. So because of that, what happened, students? Because of that, this ocean currents, flow. So equator to the polar region. So equator always lies the 0 degree. Okay, students. So observe this map. This is your world ocean currents. So see that the pink color is shown for that warm currents and blue arrow is shown for the cold current. Can you see that? So pink arrow for warm current and blue for cold current. And see, students, how that warm current, can you see that how they are passing from the equator to the polar, and that cold current from the polar to the equator. So these are differences are there. Okay, students, and see this way, students. So it will flow from equator to the polar region and from the polar to the equator. When an ocean currents flow from the frigid to the torrid zone, it reduces the temperature of the, that means of the coast in the torrid zone. And when a current, see, so what are difference are there? See that when an ocean current flow from the frigid to the torrid zone. Okay, students, so what happened that it will reduce the temperature of the coast in the torrid zone. And when the currents flow to the torrid to the frigid zone, it increase the temperature of the coast to the frigid zone. Since these are differences are there. Okay, students, that means when they can flow from the frigid to torrid zone, so it will reduce the temperature, okay, of the coastal torrid zone. And when the current flow to the torrid to the frigid, so it will increase. Understood, students? And the temperature of the coast in the frigid zone. So these are differences are there. Okay, students. and see this map. Okay, how that warm current and cold currents are flowing. Okay students, can you see that? And this way, that means pink arrow show the warm currents and cold arrow show the, that means blue arrow show the cold currents. So 5.6 world ocean currents. Okay students, so how they are moving from the equator to the polar region, from the polar to the equator region. Okay students, can you see that, how that arrow is passing? That means how that warm current and cold currents are going from one place to different place. Can you see that? And the equator place, see that pink arrow is more. Can you see that? And how they are passing. And the polar place, see that blue arrow. Okay, can you see that? Now see that do you know the region where warm and cold currents converge are favorable for the growth of planktons? You know students, planktons are the food of fishes. Okay, and fish from other areas travel towards these areas in a large number because they are getting the food. So that's why they are travel very large areas here. They breed in warm water. Okay, due to high concentration of fish population, fisheries thrive well in these areas. And because of that student, because due to the high concentration of fish population, so who are fishermen are there, they came here and they caught the fish. Okay, this fisheries thrive well in these areas. In the map of the ocean currents given in 5.6, locate such regions, find their names from an atlas or the internet, write these names on the maps. Okay, you have to find out that. That means 5.6, locate such regions in your map. That means in the map of the ocean currents given in 5.6, locate such regions, find their names from the atlas or on the that means the or the internet, write these names on the map. Okay students, now see that geography museum. So see students, there are a number of methods showing distributions on the map. One of these is isoline. Due to this method, the characteristics distributions of the component stands out vividly. So see students, isoline can be drawn using statistical information about natural factors. These lines are drawn on a map by joining all the points having the same value. So see students, in this, why the isolines are used students? Because isolines are drawn on a map by joining all the points having the same equal values. Okay, the distributions on the regional or global levels can be shown using isolines in different factors like height. So height, that is contour, temperature, that is isotherms are there. For pressure, isobars are there, and for rainfall, isoates are there. So this way there are different, that means isolines are there for different purpose. Okay, so it means for height, contours are there, temperature, isotherms are there, for pressure, isobars are there, and rainfall, that is isoates are there. Okay students, figure 5.7, world mean annual temperature. Okay, so see that figure 5.7. Explanation: considering the temperature of various places on the earth, maps of global distributions are prepared. Figure 5.7 is drawn with the help of isotherms. So see students, in this map it is drawn figure, that means isotherms are, that means with the help of the isotherms. Okay, isotherms are lines that connect place with the same temperature after avoiding the effects of height. So see students, isotherms are used for what purpose? For the same temperature. Draw the lines on the map for the same temperature. These lines generally appear parallel to the latitudes on the world map. Observe the isotherms of 25 degrees Celsius. So see 25 degrees Celsius, can you see that? Okay. Afterwards, these lines occupies areas close to, you see that equator. So equator always 0 degree. Okay, lines 0 degree, and the 25 degree, see it is very close to the equator. Can you see that 25 degree? The shape of these lines appear like a ellipse on the map. And see how it has drawn that. See that red color shown that how the line is drawn students on your map. Okay, afterwards see that the north south spread to this ellipse is greater on the continent as compared to the ocean. The isotherms lines occupies some part of the continents of South America, Africa, Asia, and Australia. See that South America. Okay, how it has drawn that lines. Afterwards Africa, Asia, and Australia. Can you see that? Okay, a very limited portion of the Pacific Ocean is occupied by these isotherms, and the Pacific Ocean, it is very limited areas are there. Okay, you will find that two isotherms with a label of 0 degrees Celsius. So see students, 0 degrees Celsius, can you see that? Observe them, the 0 degrees Celsius isotherms from the southern hemisphere is largely straight. So see students, so see that it means southern hemisphere place. So 0 degree, it is totally very larger. Okay, that we see the 0 degree Celsius isotherm from the southern hemisphere is largely straight and is parallel to the line of latitudes. Okay, can you see that? 0 degree, see how it was straight line. Can you see that? 0 degree, 0, -5, -10, -15. So see students, in the southern hemisphere the 0 degree. Okay, so observe them, the 0 degree Celsius isotherm from the southern hemisphere is largely straight. Can you see the straight? It is straight lines and is parallel to the line of the latitude. Okay students, afterwards comparatively the line of the same values in the northern hemisphere deviates north and south considerably, and same we see that northern hemisphere place. So 0 degree is not a straight line. Can you see that? That means north place, it was not a straight line. Can you see that? 0, -5, -10, -15. So north place, it is not straight 0 degree, but in south place it is totally straight. Okay, so these are differences are there. Okay students, afterwards in the west, in parts of the Pacific Ocean, it is fairly straight, but when it enters the continent of North America, it turns somewhat to the north. So see students, and same you see that. Can you see that in the west, in the part of the Pacific Ocean, see the Pacific Ocean. Okay, can you see that? And this way it is fairly straight, but it enters the continent of North America. See the North America. Okay students, North America, and this way it turns somewhat to the north. Then the line proceeds eastwards. Okay, within a short distance after entering the Atlantic Ocean, it turns towards the northeast. In this part, you will find all the isotherms line turning towards the northeast. This is because students, a warm ocean current is located in this area. Why it was happened, students? That is why that isolines turning towards the northeast, because this happens because of the warm ocean current is located in this area. Further, after entering Eurasia, while moving eastward, it turns somewhat to the southeast, still further in the Pacific Ocean. So most of the isotherms lines appear moving eastward as a straight line. So see students, what you see about that? That means most of the isotherms lines appear moving eastward as a straight line. Okay, so see that eastward it is a straight lines are there. Okay students, so these are the differences are there. Okay students, isotherms in the southern hemisphere are fairly parallel to the latitudinal lines. From South Pole to the Tropic of Capricorn, the distance between these lines is almost equal. Okay, that means it is almost equal, as the proportion of land in the southern hemisphere is limited. Okay students, and in the south place land is limited, and temperature in this part are largely influenced by the latitudes. And south place students, see the south place compared to the north, land is very less, and because of that students, land is less, because of in this part largely influenced by that means temperature in this part are largely influenced by latitude. Okay students, in the northern hemisphere the distance between these lines varies, means different. In this hemisphere the proportion of land is comparatively greater, and this is students, north place land is more greater compared to the south place. This affects the distribution of temperature. These effects are seen in the form of variation in the distance between the isotherms of curved nature in these lines. These students, in the north place, okay, so in the north place the proportion of land is comparatively greater. Okay, and because of that this affect the distributions of temperature, and these effects are seen in the form of variation. Okay students, and in the distance between the isotherms are curved nature of these lines, because in north place lands are more compared to the south. In south place land is limited, in northern place land is more. Okay, northern hemisphere. Okay students, so these are differences are there. Okay students. Can you tell? So see students, answer the following with the help of the figure. See, this is a picture of that figure 5.8, a simple thermometer. Okay students, so see that degree C stands for Celsius, degree F stands for Fahrenheit. See that vacuum glass tube, temperature scale, and red line shown for the mercury or alcohol, and see the mount. Okay, so this is a simple thermometer. Okay students, just go through the question answer. First question, what is the tube of the thermometer fixed on? And see students, that means the tube of the thermometer is fixed on mount. Can you see the mount? Okay students. Next question, what substance is used in the thermometer tube? So see, what substances are there students? That is mercury or alcohol. Okay students, that means mercury or alcohol is used in the thermometer tube. Third point, what do the figure on the scale indicate students? That means the figure on the scale indicate temperature scale. Okay students, see the temperature scale. Can you see that? Okay, now fourth point, it is in which different units is the temperature measured students? So see that the temperature measured, see that now startingly I said na degree C stands for Celsius and degree F stands for Fahrenheit. Okay students, and afterwards see that last point, what seasons does the temperature in the figure indicate students? So the figure indicates summer season. Okay students, now go through the explanation. Different types of thermometer are used for measuring the temperature of air. Okay students, so that there are different types of thermometers are there which are used for measuring the temperature of air. Mercury or alcohol is used in the thermometer. The freezing point of mercury is minus 39 degrees Celsius. Okay students, how much it is there? Minus 39 degree Celsius. Whereas that means that the alcohol is minus 130 degrees Celsius. Okay students, these materials are highly sensitive to temperature variation, and therefore variation temperature from minus 30 degrees Celsius to plus 55 degrees Celsius. And say students, these materials are very highly sensitive to temperature variation. Okay, and therefore variation in temperature from minus 30 degrees Celsius to plus 55 degrees Celsius can easily be observed with the help of this material. The unit of measuring temperature are degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. Okay students, as shown in the figure, so these are expressed as degree C or degree F. Okay students, see in your figure also shown here degree C and degree F. The difference in daily temperature, that is maximum or that is minimum, can be observed with the help of thermometer. And see students, you all know that the difference in daily temperature, maximum, minimum, it can be observed with the help of thermometer. Okay, air temperature is measured in Celsius. And see students, air temperature is measured in Celsius. So see students, this is your figure 5.8, a simple thermometer. Okay students, okay, your brain power totally cancel or mark with pencil, no need to read this. Okay students, exercise question number 1a, that is where am I, B, that is who am I, and C, that is answer the following. So see students, all these are the assignment I am giving to you as your homework. You have to write this in your notebook or in the workbook and read this lesson twice, 2 times properly. I hope that you understood this lesson. Thank you.